There's a starfish sitting on a rock somewhere right now, experiencing the entire ocean in slow motion. And 6 inches from your face, a fly is experiencing you in slow motion. Same planet, same second. 2 completely different speeds of being alive. Meanwhile, your dog is sitting at the door at 3:58 p.m., 4 minutes before you usually get home, with no watch, no phone, no concept of Tuesday, and somehow more punctual than you are for your own dentist appointments. He's never once Googled, "What time is it?" He doesn't know what a minute is, and he's beating you to the door anyway. So either every animal on Earth has secretly cracked the 4th dimension, or something else is going on. Something a lot weirder, and honestly, a lot more interesting. Do animals actually understand time? Not just, the sun came up so it's morning, but real time. The kind you and I think about. Past, future, minutes, deadlines, the dread of Sunday night. The answer is way stranger than yes or no. Because some animals appear to live inside time more precisely than we do. And others might not experience it as a single line at all. Some might not experience it as a thing at all. The obvious assumption is that humans are the only species that really understands time, and animals just run on instinct, hunger, light, and repetition. Simple stuff. We're the smart ones. They're on autopilot. Except that doesn't hold up. Some animals can track intervals more accurately than trained humans in a lab. Some can outright see time happening faster than we can. Not as a metaphor, literally. Their eyes are running at a different frame rate than yours, right now, in the same room. And that's just the beginning of how badly we've been getting this wrong. Let's start with something most people have never heard of: critical flicker fusion, or CFF for short. Researchers at the University of Galway, led by Dr. Kevin Healy, ran a study measuring how fast different species can perceive flashes of light before those flashes blur into a single continuous beam. Basically, how many distinct moments can a brain notice per second? Humans cap out at around 65 flashes per second. Past that, our brain just smooths the gaps into one solid image. That's literally why old fluorescent lights look constant instead of strobing, and why movies at 24 frames per second feel like motion instead of a slideshow. Our brain is doing massive amounts of cleanup work just to make the world feel smooth. Dogs sit at roughly 75 Hz, slightly faster than us. Salmon clock in at 96. The collared flycatcher, a small, fast-moving bird, can process up to 138 flashes per second. And then there are blowflies and dragonflies, sitting at the very top of the chart, at roughly 300 Hz. 300 distinct moments, every single second. Meanwhile, on the other end, the crown of thorns starfish processes the world at about 0.7 Hz, less than 1 flash per second. To a starfish, an entire human walking by underwater might look like a slow-fading silhouette that takes minutes to register. Same world, wildly different frame rates. But here's the thing nobody tells you about this. It's not random. There's a pattern, and it lines up almost too cleanly with body size, lifespan, and metabolism. Small animals with fast metabolisms, insects, small birds, anything that moves quick and dies quick, tend to have the highest flicker fusion rates. Large, slow metabolism animals tend to have the lowest. A dragonfly might live for 2 weeks, but inside those 2 weeks it experiences roughly 5 times as many sensory frames per second as a dog that lives 15 years. Which means, in a strange and almost philosophical way, a creature with a 2-week lifespan might be packing in a comparable number of perceived moments as something that lives for decades. Time, measured in raw perceived frames, might genuinely move at completely different speeds depending on what kind of body you happen to be running. Now apply that to humans for a second. There's a documented psychological effect where childhood summers feel like they lasted forever, and adult years feel like they vanish overnight. Some researchers link this to a faster relative neural and metabolic processing rate early in life, which gradually slows as we age. Meaning, neurologically, the days of your childhood may have been longer than the days you're living right now. Not in clock time, in experience time, in the actual number of moments your brain registered. You didn't imagine that summer felt endless. Your brain was running on a different frame rate, and that frame rate has been quietly slowing down ever since. Let me throw something at you that might sound wild, but is taken seriously by researchers studying what's now being called timescapes, a framework recently published in Trends in Cognitive Science, proposing that different species don't just perceive time at different speeds. they might organize time itself in completely different ways. Some animals appear to experience the world in extremely narrow temporal windows, reacting almost entirely to the present moment, with no real concept of later or before. Other animals, dolphins, parrots, certain primates, and a few birds, show evidence of something researchers now call mental time travel. The ability to mentally replay a specific past event and project a specific future one. Not just respond to repetition or routine. Actively imagine time. Scrub jays are a really good example. In controlled experiments, scrub jays have been observed retrieving food they cached earlier, but specifically retrieving the food that's about to spoil first, while leaving the longer-lasting food for later. They're not just remembering where the food is. They're factoring in how much time has passed since they hit it, and what time has done to it. That's not instinct. That's planning around a timeline. That's an animal modeling the future. And here's where it gets really uncomfortable for the "humans are uniquely smart about time" theory. There's growing research suggesting elephants, certain corvids, and some great apes may carry something close to grief, meaning they may not just understand that time has passed. They may understand that someone they knew is no longer in it. Here's where it gets a little uncomfortable, if you sit with it. We've spent a long time assuming that real-time perception, the dread, the planning, the looking forward to vacation 3 weeks away, the regret about something 5 years ago, is a uniquely human trait, proof that we're the smart ones, the species that escaped the eternal present. But the dog at the door at 3:58 isn't proof he doesn't understand time. There's growing evidence dogs track elapsed duration using internal rhythms and environmental cues with startling consistency. Accurate enough that researchers studying canine cognition have measured them anticipating routine events within minutes of their actual onset, repeatedly, with no clock anywhere in sight. Meanwhile, you, the one with the smartphone, the calendar app, the alarm clock that snoozes itself, the Google reminders, the smartwatch buzzing on your wrist, you are statistically more likely than your dog to misjudge how long a meeting felt, to lose track of an entire afternoon, to feel like a year went by in a week. So maybe the line was never, animals don't understand time and humans do. Maybe it's closer to, different nervous systems are reading time off completely different instruments. And ours, despite all our gadgets, is far from the most reliable one in the animal kingdom. We didn't transcend the eternal present. We just built tools to compensate for how badly we lose track of it. Next time your dog beats you to the door before you've even checked the clock, you're not watching a cute trick. You're watching a nervous system that may be more precisely tuned to elapsed time than yours is. Next time a fly seems to effortlessly dodge your hand at the last possible second, that's not luck. You are, quite literally, moving in slow motion from its perspective. It's not faster than you. It's experiencing more moments per second than you are, in the same room, in the same second. And the next time you feel like this year went by faster than the one before it, that's not nostalgia or stress or anything you did wrong. It might just be your own internal flicker rate, quietly slowing down with every birthday. The same brain in a different gear. The clock on your wall hasn't moved a millimeter. You're the one experiencing it differently. So, do animals understand time? Some of them might understand it better than we do. Not with a word for it. Not with a calendar on the wall. Just a nervous system built to read duration the way ours reads color. Maybe time was never one single thing happening at one single speed for everyone. Maybe a starfish, a dragonfly, a dog, and you are all just standing in the same second together, counting it at completely different speeds.